Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. Well, we continue to watch this tropical wave. We've been talking about this for a number of days. It's been working its way across the southern Caribbean up into the western Caribbean, now starting to work its way over Central America and the Yucatan. And right now you're seeing quite a bit of convection with this. The big question is, how well will this continue to hold together as it continues over land? And then by tomorrow, looks like it moves up into the Bay of Campeche. You see what's going on up there, light wind shear. So the environment is favorable that we could see some additional development with this as we go through the next couple of days. We're going to continue to watch that pretty closely. You look out into the central Atlantic, everything's still very, very quiet. And then into the eastern Atlantic, we've seen this for almost a week now, where we have these tropical waves working their way off the coastline. But what's happening with this is they are immediately moving into that very strong wind shear environment. So conditions just not favorable right now to see anything developing there. But here's that one tropical wave working its way over the Yucatan and Central America. Hurricane Center putting between that 20 to 30% chance of additional development. Now, at this point, it really doesn't look like it's going to have a whole lot of time to really develop. I think it'll see some marginal development. But at this point, what it really looks like is just a lot of rain heading for southern Texas as we go through the weekend. But if it gets enough time and conditions are just right, might see it develop a little bit more. That's why we're going to continue to watch this pretty closely as we go through the next couple of days. Remember last weekend, they had that one system that developed off the coastline. And again, it was just a lot of rain, but it really brought some very heavy rain across Texas. So there's that potential of more flooding rains across southern Texas as we go through the weekend. So watch the Fox model. Here you see some of that moisture working its way into the Bay of Campeche, but notice what happens. This is on Friday. You just don't see a whole lot of additional development, just a lot of rain heading to the north and west up towards Texas as we head through the weekend. So big question is, when are we going to start to see some more activity? Well, as we head through the end of August, heading into September, we all know this is that active time of the year. We expect to see a lot more activity. September 10th being the peak of the hurricane season, and models have back and forth been hinting that we're going to start seeing more waves moving off the coastline. That dry Saharan air that we've seen for weeks upon weeks will start to become less of a factor. If that wind shear diminishes some, then we're going to get some of these waves that will start to take hold, and we could see a bit more activity. Now, yesterday, the GFS was really aggressive in showing maybe next week we would start to see more of these waves moving off the coastline that would have that potential of developing. Today, really starting to back off on that. The European has been much more consistent, showing just a moderate amount of more activity with some of these waves, just looking maybe a little bit more impressive and just getting a much more moist environment, which would kind of set the stage here over the next couple of weeks that we could start to see something. So at this point, not seeing any definite signs of increased activity, but this is an area that we obviously will start to focus in and watch very closely over the next couple of weeks. We'll keep you updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com.